I mean, he's only got that much. He's only got that much mana, so whatever spells he's got, which technically, if he's got like another Raven's Flock, he can use that there and whatnot. But I prefer to not give him another Mystic. I could have technically targeted the other guy, because that actually would have leveled up my Ezreal if I targeted this guy. I got a bit too greedy there. Hello everyone, Gomez here again from the LAN Up channel. Again with another deck for you. Obviously, because of everything that's been going on with the new patches and whatnot, there's been a lot more heroes that have become viable who were kind of they kind of got pushed into the shadows, but they're back. And my main man Ezreal is indeed back. I used to like play Ezreal so much back in the day. So expect a number of decks featuring Ezreal coming out very soon, because I do like playing with the guy. Not like that. But anyway, let's get into it. This is one where we're using like spooky Ezreal with Go Hard. Let's do this. So I called the deck Hard Ezreal, you know, just because why the hell not? Technically it's a spooky Ezreal deck, but let's go. Let's quickly get into it beat by beat. Okay, I will actually explain why my mind has gone this way. Definitely, as I've already said, I always go with concepts and then play a couple of games with them, see how it goes and whatnot, but it's up to us, the community, to work out this and refine them. But I kind of go with what my gut feeling is. So, Fading Memories. Fading Memories is in the deck for a few different reasons. It's in there so that it counts as a target for Ezreal if you use it on your opponent's side. Also, the most important thing about this late game is it's 0 cost, and once he levels up, if you target an enemy, you get 2 damage to the enemy nexus. So technically that's 0 cost, 2 damage to the enemy nexus, as well as the fact that you get a unit from your opponent's side. I mean, it's going to be an ephemeral copy, but still the ability to be able to do that is actually really nice, because it still gives you the ability to, even if you put it down defensively, yeah, it's going to die at the end of the turn, but if you need something for defense, it can be useful. And if Ezreal is on the board, as I say, boom, 2 damage into that enemy core in the late game. So more for targeting. Thermals, just because, you know, targeting potentially maybe want to take this down, maybe to 2, but at this moment in time I'm running 3. Go Hards, I'm actually running 2. My reason for running 2 instead of 3 is because they're going to start doubling themselves up anyway. Like, they're going to become more frequent in the deck, and they're going to start finishing. But you really want that more in your late game when Ezreal's leveled up compared to what it did, like immediately type thing. We've got obviously just to put down as a mean as a blocker. He counts as 2 blockers, because when he dies he creates a spider. Jerry Rigs, because one of my most favourite card in PNZ, Rummage. I love Rummage so much. I'm like, there's so many videos featuring me using Rummage that it's amazing. But Rummage, yeah, really good draw mechanic, especially considering the fact that we're playing Go Hard in this deck. So I said for the late game when Ezreal was on the board, that. Because bearing in mind, if you target an enemy, that's doing 1 damage to that enemy draining, so giving you some health, as well as doing 2 damage to the enemy nexus, and then you're going to be throwing pack your bags in there once you do use that 3 times. That's 5 damage across the board on their side, including their enemy nexus. So I like the idea and the concept of this. Glimpse it again for draw, because as I said, like, you know, once we get to a certain point, draw is going to be very important to us. Unspeakable Horror, technically you can actually throw in Veil rather than this, so Vile Feast, because that does give you a blocker immediately. It's really personal preference. I've gone for Unspeakable Horror because I like the gamble of seeing what I can get. But in all honesty, Vile Feast is actually a really perfect thing to put here because of the fact that it does instantly create a blocker. So if you're in a terrible situation on the board, using that and then having something, like if they play something, using that and then having a blocker on the board is at least useful if it's their attack turn. Ezreal, obviously, main man. He's the only champion I'm currently running in this deck. The main reason for that being is because you kind of want somebody who's going to be underneath his stat line, even though he's leveled up stat line, because of when you play the Rekindler, you want to be making sure you're getting Ezreal's back. So the only thing that you could play is Teemo. Technically, Teemo's not a bad shout. He's what you could, like, he's still elusive. He's going to be putting those mushrooms in, and considering the fact that you're playing this so that you can get the spells off of it to be able to use late game with Ezreal, it's not a bad thing to be able to put Teemo into a deck like this. It's just that I've decided to go full on Ezreal with this one, but Teemo is a good enough shout. Unfortunately, like any other champion in this region, like Heimer is like the same as Ezreal and actually has the same stats as Ezreal in terms of leveled up. So the thing is, when you use your Rekindler, he's bringing back the strongest champion. So as I said, Teemo is literally the only one who would be weaker than him out of this lot. So that's why I've decided just to go with Ezreal. Target draw, standard. This year again, give you a little bit of life steal. Potentially actually throwing in, like getting rid of one of these and going that, because just to have that little bit of survivability might actually be more what you're looking for. Actually, I might do that right now. I'm going to end up regretting this decision. You could also technically put Whale. You could technically put Whale in the deck. My reason for not putting Whale in the deck, because obviously it works really well against discard aggro. But I've got my stacks, which I'm hoping are really going to help. But also, my Grasp is still a target spell, so it's draining and targeting, which means the leveled up one's going to be doing 2 damage, whereas Whale's not a target spell, so technically it's only going to do 1 damage to the enemy core. So that's why I decided to go down that way. Admittedly, I might end up regretting that decision, but that's what I've gone with. Rekindler, bring back those Ezreals, Progress Day, and then Harrowing to bring everything back. Bring back those Rekindlers, which will bring back more Ezreals, and then have fun on your enemy's core. That's the idea here, but you know, significant draws and everything like that. So that's what I've gone with. But as I said, this is just my interpretation of the deck. There's always different iterations that are going to be a thing. One thing that I did consider putting in the deck was maybe a Crumble, just in case landmark kind of things need to be dealt with. At this moment in time, I think Starspring is still at the main landmark. I mean, admittedly, I have been seeing a little bit of Howling Abyss every now and then, but maybe throwing in a Crumble. It depends on what landmarks are doing at the time. Technically, that is still a kill unit, so that's still basically a slow vengeance. But you will have to kill, you will have to kill something in order to do so. So potentially a Jerry Rig or an Aristocrat. The only problem with this, as I said, is that those units are small units that can easily be... It depends on what your opponent's playing, but they're easily targetable. One thing that I did consider for the deck was the upgraded Black Spear, because of the fact that it now does 4 damage, which is still really nice. But the requirement of somebody dying, admittedly, you can make it happen. Like, you know, you got glimpses and whatnot like that. So technically, that was something that I considered putting in the deck for that 4 damage stat, but I'm okay with what I've got. We've got some thermal, so I will live with what we've currently running. But as I said, any changes and whatnot, please let me know down in the comment section down below, because I love hearing back from you guys. And if you want to, it says shameless plug time, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm active on all of them, so if you want to get involved, catch the action live, and watch gamers make foolish mistakes and do stupidity is mostly what happens. And like I get in that chat, you can duel me, deck suggestions. I do actually have the tip widget things for redeeming them now, so up to you whether or not you want to get involved with that stream. Or did I already say that stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays? I do actually have a goal to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube or 1,000 followers on Twitch by the end of the year. We are actually near to kind of hitting both of them, and I said if I hit both of them, that will make my dreams come true in so many different ways. So honestly, thank you so much if that does. The support has been overwhelming already, so thank you if you're already doing those things. If you're not, if you feel like supporting me, please feel free to, but do not feel forced. I never like people feeling forced into these things, but literally we are like 70 away on Twitch, and we are like 170 away on YouTube. It's kind of close in that thing. Like, you know, YouTube's just 100 away from Twitch, but it's amazing. Honestly, it's been overwhelming. But anyway, enough of this jibber jabber. Let's get in and play some games with this deck. Okay, so Ezreal Swain. Everyone's playing Ezreal now, because why wouldn't you? Right, gonna keep fading. Just because I didn't know I was gonna get a minion, like a quick minion. Okay, it's fine. So, what's that noise? Okay. Gonna need to be careful. To be fair, I just want to say that, the idea of that, I mean, I've already had an idea between putting these two together, so it's nice to see. It's like, you know, people are already thinking about it. All the combos and that you can do. Because there's so many different combos you can do with Ezreal. See, look, like, that's a perfect thing. So what I'm going to do is go, whoop. He might have another spell, but forcing out 2 of his resources, because obviously we're trying to make it so it doesn't count towards his Ezreal. I mean, the draw's more important to me. The draw's more important to me, and actually stopping him from having 2 target spells, both of which would be leveling up both of his champions. I don't mind doing that just to stop that target for Ezreal. Okay, we leave. But yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame that we had to use two of our spells on that. Okay, so I mean, we have got a rummage. We have got a rummage, and we have got a jerry, but obviously that ends up putting like more targets for our enemy. This is the really careful thing you need to do on the Ezreal matchup, is make sure that you're not giving him any targets, while hoping that he gets. So that's why our opponent's really not playing anything, is because they don't want to be giving us anything to work with, target wise. Yeah, no, I can't do anything about that one. I can't do anything about that one, sadly. Gets himself a little bit of joy. So his Ezreal's already started, but as well his Swain is also on the way. So the problem is that literally anything we put down just becomes a target. It's really hard in the counter match whenever like you're against a similar thing that's trying to do what you're trying to do, because you want to make sure. I mean, technically we kind of want Ezreal to die. We kind of want Ezreal to die, but we don't want that to be leveling up his Ezreal. Is the point that I'm trying to make. So, guess we gotta go just immediately killing Swain here. Throw that in. But the thing is, that's like, so technically, do we just throw out? I mean, if I had another glimpse, I wouldn't mind throwing Ezreal out onto this field, because I think it'd be killing him on my terms. Because technically we do want him to die. We've got many ways of bringing him back. So the question is, do we play him? Because let's face it, he will die immediately the second that we put him out. I guess we kind of need to be freeing up space. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to end up regretting this decision, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to let Ezreal die. For the greater good. For the greater good, I'm going to let my... Ooh. Well, is he not got... He must have the way of killing Ezreal, right? I mean, a big part of me is like, do I just rummage? Gonna go for a rummage, sod it. I guess at this moment in time, Fading Memories is kind of useless to me, like in terms of he hasn't actually played anything that's going to work with that. So, might as well throw this forward, just go for an attack. It kills Ezreal. Yep, that's understandable. But Jerry still makes it through. If he plays, if he plays Swain right now, we haven't really got much that can counter that. I mean, we can throw Rekindler down next turn unless he goes for an open. We've got options, don't worry, everything's fine, people, everything's fine. Do not panic. I mean, this is just the fact that this is what this game has become now, just a passing game. Right, is the fact that he's not giving me anything to target at all. We're just gonna have to slowly pick him down because he's not giving me anything. Obviously, when he levels his champions up, that's when I'm going to expect to see some things drop. So I mean, I could technically actually use that on my unit. But I don't necessarily want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you're actually gonna overdraw. Like you're gonna something. I'm gonna be burning something. So okay, right. Might as well get rid of the Hapless because let's face it, we're not gonna be playing that by the looks of it. Potentially, I'm actually just gonna get rid of one of these guys. Yeah, no, that's really not what I'm looking for right now. Really not what I'm looking for. And the fact that we're getting, like, he's getting closer and closer to that. I mean, he's already leveled up Swain. The fact that he's getting closer and closer to that Ezreal level up is not fun. And the fact that literally, like, right now, we've actually not even got anything that's really going to help us is also not fun. So I could technically throw down... I mean, I could technically throw down the Rekindler, because although that's going to give him so many targets, the plus side is that it does mean that we get another Ezreal dead. So when we draw our Harrow in, like, the fact that we get 2 Ezreals on the board is going to be very nice. But as I said, it's the fact that we need... It's the fact that we need things to target to level Ezreal, and, like, literally our opponent is not giving us anything. They're going full on into the late game, not giving us anything. Yep. Yep. I mean, yeah, I could drain my own unit, as I say, but right now, that doesn't 100% help me. Potentially just throw this Jerry rig out as well. Just because I can. I know that it gives another target. I know that he gives another target, but he only needs to target one more anyway, so he could throw anything into that. Yeah, that's fine. Technically, he could have actually thrown like one into my core. In all honesty. Yeah, no, the Ezreal is now leveled up, so expect to see Ezreal drop. I just need to hope that he's not got enough burst speed spells, because obviously we can target as well, but it's the amount of spells that he's got that's going to dictate what's going to happen here. Because I mean, he's got to play something at some point, right? He's got to play something at some point, otherwise, number one, his hand's going to become too... Really? I mean, this is the most, like, insane game. This is the... I mean, he's just burnt one of his Swains because literally he does not want to play anything. That's fine. That's fine. You have that. You've got to play something at some point, mate. I mean, at this point, his Ezreal is actually even leveled, so the Ezreal is actually leveled. You might as well go for it, right? Go and start playing your stuff. I mean, this is such a ballsy move. Just the fact that he's like, yeah, no, I refuse. I refuse to play anything. Okay, well, I mean, if you want to, I mean, your Ezreal is technically already leveled, so I don't actually mind playing things, because literally you can target this all you want right now because you've already done what you needed to, so sod it. I'm going to have my fun if you won't let it, if you don't want to do any nonsense of putting things on the board. As long as I make sure that I've got enough mana to be able to still do something if you do play your Ezreal, I'm fine. such a weird choice. If this is the way you want to play the game, we shall play. Right. He's got to do something at some point. He can't just keep letting this go backwards and forwards like this. Because, admittedly, I'm the one who's going to run out of cards first. But if I just start going sod it and start playing things now, he's got to do something at some point. Otherwise, I can just keep smashing forward. And hopefully, he can only have so much target, right? Okay, there we go. There's one. So, number one, I want to target it like that, because technically that then counts as a target again that I can use. So use these own targeting methods against him so that I can start leveling up my Ezreal. Because I said his Ezreal has been leveled for a long time. We've been on having to wait. But there we go. Okay, right. He's now played the Ezreal. Okay, he's now played the Ezreal. Okay. See, he goes. Okay, here's the thing. Now we need to work out what our best strategy is, because he is going to go. So I want to see whether or not he plays any spells. He does not play any spells. That's a shame. I mean, he's only got that much. He's only got that much mana. So whatever spells he's got, which technically, if he's got like another Raven's Flock, he can use that there and whatnot. But I prefer to not give him another Mystic. I could have technically targeted the other guy, because I actually would have leveled up my Ezreal if I targeted this guy. I got a bit too greedy then, but I guess we kind of want to get down his core right now. That's fine. That's fine. Use all your spells. I mean, that wasn't even all. That was one spell. That was really nothing in the grand scheme of what he could have had. So, I mean, I'm kind of laughing at the moment in terms of the fact that. I mean, Harrow. I mean, I should have leveled. If I would have leveled Ezreal, that actually would have been an amazing move just then, just to go directly into harrowing. Technically, I could level Ezreal through Faded Memories. I could just level Ezreal through Faded Memories. But Faded Memories would be one that I would love to get out with Harrowing. Because Harrowing obviously costs so much that you kind of want your cheaper spells. The target. Okay, let's work this out. Let's work this out. What's going to be the best move here? Do we just throw Ezreal? Because he has used a number of his target, but obviously not a lot of it. So potentially just do that, just to level Ez. So now Ezreal is all grown up and leveled up. We can actually just go for the harrowing move as well now. Harrowing move, and then we've got. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Harrowing move. We've got Faded Memories. So we should get Hoop. Ezreal's coming at you. So spooky Ezreal time. So boom. Ezreal. I mean, yes. Okay. So what's the plan? That's fine, because before you get that move off, allow me to do this. Oh, did that target one of your minions? Oops. And then I guess we jerry-rig. Admittedly, this is not going to be his death. But casting the spell still means that we do 3 damage. And then we attack forward. So, yep, let that happen. And then allow me to show you the power of elusiveness. I mean, he's dead, right? He's got to be dead. Yeah. He knew that it was done. Oh. Okay. It's a very popular choice right now. It's a very popular choice, Ezreal with Swain. Very popular choice. I can understand why. Actually, do we want to keep? I might keep one of my drawers here. Because if we can deny, I mean, this is not the hand that I want against this deck. This is not that. I at least want one thermal to be able to deny the Swain. Yeah, this is not the hand I want. But basically, neither one of us is going to be playing any minions like at all. Like this is the standard of how this game goes. Neither of us plays anything technically. I could rummage here to get Jerry on the board, then if he tries to target Jerry, use the glimpse just to try and force out more of his resource. But I guess the thing that I want to do is I want to try and force out his resource by getting us to 10. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then I should have 8 as well. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yeah, so I kind of want to force out both of us into the 8 slot. But the thing is, I wish, because now obviously this is the time where he could play Swain. I really don't have any. I really don't have like many good targeting moves either. Actually, I guess we go with that. We have got the ability to use Grasp of the Undying. But what I'll do is when he attacks forward, I'll throw a Jerry out, hey! And then when he tries to kill, okay, he's going actually more aggressive. Normally, whenever you're in this matchup, they literally do nothing because they don't want they don't want you targeting any of their things. So I throw these out. If he goes for a target, I then use a glimpse. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting him to target something. But the fact that we've got targets now is okay. Give us some draw. So our Ezreal is now halfway there, which is okay. It's very nice. I could potentially just throw Jerry out right now, just to glimpse him. Just to see whether or not our opponent does anything. Actually, that was a misplay because I had no way of glimpsing. I had no way of glimpsing Jerry. Just a, I mean, we'll get that little tiny bit of damage. Right. The question is whether or not. I mean, I kind of want to be saving these for like Ezreal himself. But I guess he can't, he can't use that right now. He can't use Ezreal, and we've still got the mana to still use Glimpse on our Jerry. So actually, this is an okay thing. This is actually a more PNZ. It looks like this is like more PNZ heavy than Noxus heavy. I'm used to like seeing like quite some Noxus heavy, especially with the fact that Sentry, Arachnoid Sentry. I mean, obviously, yeah, no, we're seeing some of it. It's fine. I mean, our Ezreal can basically level now, which is very nice. There we go. That's why we kept you back, just to deny the Ezreal and Swain. But my main thing is I need Thermal, because if the second he plays Swain, I've got no major counter to Swain. I need my Thermals. Literally, I need my Thermals. Because if he plays Swain right now, I mean, I can. Time for a true display of skill. Oh, we're going to take so much damage elsewhere. Actually, I guess we use this here. We use that there. And then we have Grasp of the Undying to use on Ezreal himself. Because the best thing is that his Ezreals are important to him. Ours are not as important to us. In terms of what I mean by that is, if our Ezreal dies, it actually works for us. Whereas if his Ezreal dies, it does nothing for him. So I wish that this hit in after these hits so that we actually healed that up. But if I let him hit in, he gets a Mystic Shot. So either way, we have the same amount of damage done to us. Because either he gets the 3 damage in now, and also he gets the 4 damage, we heal for 3, and then he hits us with 2 damage off the Mystic Shot. So either way, we said, but that should be so our Ezreal is now leveled. Now we just need to find the son of a bitch. Okay, gonna have to go with this. At least we got our Thermal. Oh, so there we go. So we found him, and we're so close. I mean, we're so close to that. But at least we found the Thermal's actually more important to me, because if he plays Swain or the Leviathan, I've got like nothing. So I really need that. I want to play my Ezreal. Don't blink. No, I mean I could kill his Ezreal again. So, but if he goes into an open, do I just leave it? If he legitimately goes into an open, do I leave it? That's the question. That's the legitimate question that I need to ask myself. Is the open attack? Yep. Or do I kill the Ezreal? I guess I kill the Ezreal. We could kill you. We could kill you. Because you're going to be doing more damage. But I mean, Ezreal's going to be giving him a what's his face? We'll go with that. I really would have loved to have played Ezreal before doing it. I mean, if we're going to kill the Ezreal, then we might as well wait, because I mean, it's 1 damage. But it's one of those things where it then gives him. I mean, if I'm gonna use Grasp now, I should use it here. If I'm gonna use Grasp now, I should use it there. Sod it. Yeah, if I'm using the Grasp, use it there. It does mean, as I said, that he gets to, like, you know, enjoy a little bit of Ezreal. But as I've already said, we don't actually mind if our Ezreal dies, especially considering the fact that we've got a Rekindler in hand and Harrowing. So he can target that as much as he wants, and plus we can get a little bit of damage in on him right now because we can fade in memories. Then use this. I guess we use it on. Did we use it on the Ezreal? Yeah, I guess we use it on the Ezreal. I mean, we've got a we've got Thermal actually that can kill his Ezreal, so I feel like that's more important, right? See whether he's got to have another target. I mean, the fact that he doesn't go for all the targeting immediately, I feel that he's got another target spell because he's got. I mean, playing Ezreal. I mean, he's got to have like Ravenous Flock or something, hasn't he? I mean, why wouldn't he not just play both of them at the same time? I don't know. I mean, I guess he wanted to see whether or not I had anything sneaky. Actually, I don't have a Rekindler. For some reason, my mind thought I had a Rekindler. Yeah, doesn't matter. I can live with my decisions. Okay. So we already have the 5 damage. We already have the 5 damage. Pack your bags coming at you. So, yeah, 5. I mean, I could. Actually, no, there's no point because I don't really get too much. Oh, do I? Because I mean, technically, I'd get a shot and then 5 damage. So that'd be that'd be 2 damage, and then so I get 7 damage. Sorry, so 8 damage because it'd be 1 damage off the Ezreal. Not really worth it, is it? Potentially using you, knowing that we've got Harrowing and whatnot coming. So potentially using you so that I can then, if he tries to kill, go into a glimpse. That's not exactly a kill move. Is he hiding the kill move back? Right, I mean, how many cards have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So might as well go with this. Get ourselves some draw. Rekindler. So I mean, like, our end game is starting to shape up now. I feel like we need to at least throw a mushroom. Or we could actually, we could Unspeakable Horror, or go hard. Throw a go hard in here just to give us a little bit of. How many cards have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm just going to throw a mushroom into his deck. Throw a mushroom into his deck and then pass. I want to see what he's going to do. If he throws Swain out. Okay.
A big place. Let's see all of it.
If he threw Swain out, I'd be more inclined to do that move, the go hard move, into pack your bags. Oh, this seems like such a. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see what he does. Okay. Maybe I should have got into that move. I mean, got no. The one time I've got like no targeting that actually physically. Right. Okay. Sod it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna Fading Memories. Then use Unspeakable Horror. Actually, firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to use Rummage on both spiders, because those spiders literally mean nothing to me. I was really hoping I was going to find something that was going to kill Ezreal. Okay. I'm going to go with that move, and then I'm going to go into a Rekindler. Technically, we should have actually waited until we went into the Rekindler move to do that, because we would have obviously got the benefits off of Ezreal. So technically, we should have waited. I'm actually just going to wait out and see whether or not he uses his Mystic Shot first. There we go. And then we go into the Rekindler, and then we let things happen. This is when it all goes. This is when it all happens. Okay, so because how close is he? So his Ezreal's not even halfway. So we're actually we're kind of laughing right now. I say we're kind of laughing. We've got the less health, but that can change very drastically. Very drastically. Goes for that. That's fine. I mean, if you want to kill that, if anything, yes, please. Because I do have a Harrowing move next turn that would be far more devastating if he dies, so that I get more Ezreal. So yes, please. If you wish to end his life, I would not be the one to stop you. So please, feel free to Ravenous. Oh, okay, well, okay. So he's going for the Ezreal level. Okay, okay. Potentially. So I mean, how close does that actually get him? So he would have one more target, and then he'd be there. Then he's got 3 mushrooms in his deck. That's going to do 3 damage to my core. I could actually just glimpse this to deny 1 target, so that he still has to do 2. Make him work for it. I mean, he's got 2 cards in his hand. I just want to make him work for it. I'll use this one because it costs nothing, so therefore next turn we get to get a little bit more stuff out. So that we're going with that. Drain gives us pack your bags, does 2 damage into his core. Yeah, oh, okay, fine. We don't get the 2 damage. We were a bit. I'm not gonna lie, that was greedy. It was greedy on my part to try and do that, but I'll take it. So going into this turn, potentially we actually should have just saved all of the mana that we could, because we're only going to get to use 1 spell off of this. Yeah, we're only going to get to use 1 spell, which technically I said, like, okay, we can use the Mushroom Cloud to do a little bit more damage in there. Potentially, I should have just got. I did play this wrong. I should have just gone for killing his Ezreal, because that is literally his last Ezreal. Like, literally, that is the last one that he has. So we should have just gone for killing it. I went too greedy. I'm not gonna lie. I went too greedy on the board. So we can still use pack your bags and a mushroom, which will do what's his face, so 3 damage coming off of these guys, and then I mean, that is a huge thermal beam right there, is what that is. That does actually level his Ezreal as well. That does actually give him the level, but it's used all of his mana in order to do that. So now what we do is we let that happen, pack your bags, which means that he loses everything on his side of the field. He gets the level up, but that is his last Ezreal, bear in mind. That is his last Ezreal. So then we just go pack your bags. Everything gets hit, including which he's Nexus of 5, then we just attack forward with everyone. Oh, yeah. Yep, so we just literally just throw it forward now. This has been one of those weirdest matches, but at the same point, amazing times. Yeah, he knows where this is going. So that is the kind of spooky Ezreal deck. As you can see, it's got a really good last game punch, but it's getting to that point. Sometimes, obviously, you can be against really aggressive decks. Like, even though you've got a lot of target, sometimes it can't get its way through. Potentially, actually putting another thermal beam in, because I know that I've reduced the thermal beam. Potentially putting that back in again. So changing back the change that I made, basically, might be a really good plan, because literally there was so many times I was like, if I could have another thermal beam right now, that'd be really good. But I do like the combination with go hard with Ezreal, especially with the fact that he doesn't have to target as many people anymore. it does work out quite well, especially as I said, for a lovely finisher. So please let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. As always, I do always love hearing your comments. I do realise that I've suddenly changed because I don't have my headphones on. I've changed. So make sure that you do that. I am also live on Twitch on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays. So you want to come catch the action live, please feel free to. As well as the fact that you can join the Discord. I didn't mention that earlier. Discord, we have a games night and a movie night in there, which is exclusively on that Discord, so good times which it will be had if you want to get involved with that. But expect many decks coming out, especially Ezreal decks. God, I just love Ezreal as a character. But anyway, thank you all so much. Until next time, bye. You do it. I said, don't you do it. Okay. Is there literally anything that I could draw or that I could get from Flash of Brilliance that could save me? Save me! That doesn't save me. Okay. Is there anything from you? Save me. That doesn't save me. Okay. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Find something that can save me.